Today's video, we're going to talk about employee retention tax credits. And if you don't know what those are, my guest is going to to them in depth, as well as some other things about his business and a number of other topics for business finance professionals. So I want to welcome my guest, Michael Slabitcher. Michael, appreciate you joining me.
My pleasure, Shane. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Michael is the founder of Complete Capital Network. He's based in Miami, and I've actually worked with him, and known him for a few years now. So in different companies that I was with previously. So yeah, it's great to have you on. I appreciate taking the time. So let's kind of dive into what your company does now. What are you up to now, and what you guys provide.
Okay, so I have two business finance companies. One is Complete Capital Network. When the pandemic happened, COVID-19, pretty much sitting there, trying to figure out what I'm going to do, right? Financial institutions are not lending money, funders are not funding. So what I decided to do was help my existing clients, with the PPP and the EIDL for free at no charge, right? These are my clients. I'm just trying to help them. Mm-hmm. So basically, I have two business finance companies. The second company's name is prestamosdelsba.com LLC, which caters to the Spanish community, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I opened that company. And now what we're also doing besides business finance is we're helping merchants claim the employee retention tax credit from the IRS, which is an IRS program.
Okay.
COVID-19.
Okay. And so we'll get into depth with that. Give me an example of some of the products. So just the business finance. So it's, business advances, loans, lines of credit, equipment financing. Give me some of those.
Yeah. So anything from a merchant cash advance all the way to an SBA 7A loan, depending on the qualifications of the merchant and the business.
Gotcha. All right. And that's nationwide, correct?
Correct.
Got it. Okay. All right. So let's get into the ERTC, ERC tax credits. What is it for those who just don't know what it is, and for the brokers who may be working with it or not? Give us that rundown.
All right. So the employee retention tax credit is a program from the IRS. So what the IRS is doing is giving back a portion of the money that businesses paid to their W-2 employees during 2020 and 2021. The program started because of COVID-19. Initially, you were not able to receive the PPP alongside the ERTC. The law changed, and now businesses are able to take advantage of both. So, with the PPP, the EIDL being over, what happens with this credit is basically the business is receiving a portion of the money, as I mentioned. For 2020, they can receive up to $5,000 per employee. And for 2021, they can receive up to $21,000 per employee, for a total of $26,000 per employee. This is not a loan. There are no restrictions on how the capital can be used. The business owner can decide to go on a cruise. They can buy real estate. It's money that they pay their employees. They can get that, they're getting a portion of that money back. They can do anything they want with that money. The minimum requirement for a business to qualify would be if they had a drop in revenue of 10% or more during the second quarter of 2020 compared to the same quarter in 2019. So that will qualify the business for 2020. Right now, what the IRS is doing is they're going to be sending checks per qualifying quarter. Now there are 6 quarters that the business can qualify for: second, third, and fourth from 2020, first, second, and third from 2021. So a business owner can receive up to 6 checks per quarter. business owners as W-2 employees do not qualify. So for instance, if you have a business that has 4 employees and the owner, wife, and 2 kids, right? Owner is 100% owner, they wouldn't qualify. Now, same scenario, they have 8 employees, 4 of them are family members, 4 of them are just regular employees. They could qualify for the credits for those 4 non-family member W-2s.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. All right. Now, I would say the majority of businesses had a 10% decrease in 2020, right? So
right.
It's really something that most people should look into or take advantage of, whether it be contacting you or whoever, because it's fairly simple, right, to apply, correct?
Well, what we do
Mm-hmm.
is basically first, I ask some questions just to not waste anybody's time, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the business owner says, hey, yeah, I had a 10% drop in revenue in the second quarter of 2020 compared to the same quarter 2019, what I do is I be sending that merchant an email where they're going to be answering a questionnaire. To answer the questionnaire, they just need to have their gross income for 2019, 2020, and 2021 broken down into quarters, and PPP information, right? Because you could receive both, but you cannot double dip, meaning you cannot receive the money for the same periods, right? So what's going to happen is once the business owner answers the questionnaire, we're going to need their 941s,
Mm-hmm.
forms 941, 6 of them, and then also a payroll report, which is from March 13th of 2020 all the way to September 30th of 2021. So once the questionnaire has been answered, the documentation has been uploaded onto the portal, it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks for that merchant to receive an analysis, right? An email saying exactly how much they qualify for. And then at that point, they'll have an option, 2 options to make a payment, right? They could either choose option number 1, pay 10% of the total amount up front,
Mm-hmm.
or they can pay 15% of the total amount, and they would wait until the IRS sends out the checks. Now, I forgot to mention this. So the IRS takes about 6 to 8 months to send out these checks. And the reason they're taking that long is because they are the IRS, right? And so I don't want people to get confused that, that it's taking 6 to 8 months because there's an approval process, right?
Okay.
This is not a loan, so they're not being approved for anything. They're basically going to be sending out the 941s. They will be amended with the analysis, and the IRS is just going to check the numbers and send out checks. There's, you don't need to be approved for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, brokers who are interested in providing the service to their existing clients or even marketing this service to new clients,
Mm-hmm.
they can reach out. I can introduce them to the company that I work with. And what I'm doing, right? Very small percentage of business owners are going to be paying up front.
Okay.
But some will. So that will be, money coming in right away. Most business owners are going to pay once the IRS sends out the checks. So they're going to be paying the 15%. Me as a broker, I make 20% of that 15%, right? So the point, I'm sorry. So the point I was making is that, in 6 to 8 months, while you're doing whatever it is the business is doing, in this scenario, business finance, you're making money, your regular cash flow. Once that 6 to 8 months come around, you're going to start getting these payments as additional revenue to your business.
Right.
So again, I love different sources of revenue, right? And not only that, what I'm doing now is a lot of the people that I work with for the ERC, because the company I'm working with already filed for the credit. I'm already speaking to them again, regarding financing, right? I have someone that's looking to purchase a $5 million property for their business. So, by marketing this this great program, right? Because it's not a loan, no restriction on the use of funds. You're
Yeah, you
just
can do
getting money
whatever you
back,
want with it.
right?
Right.
So it's easy to market that. So if you get people to call you, if they qualify, great. If they don't qualify, you can start a new conversation, right?
Right. For some other
Does this need
product.
funding now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you looking to do? And you start a conversation, which could end up being a relationship where
Sure.
you can make money from the ERTC and from financing something at a later time. Some of these people, as soon as you tell them that it's going to take 6 to 8 months for them to get an X amount, because they know exactly how much they're going to get,
Right.
they might want to apply for something and get some money now. And, once they get the credit, pay that off, So
Hmm.
again, it's just another source of revenue and a great way to acquire new clients.
Okay. And are there like other questions that pop up, typically frequently asked questions from the business owners that you get that you could also, I mean, whether it's how long do they have until the last time they can apply or anything else that pops up in your head?
The deadline is April 15th of 2025,
Okay.
right? So they have time. And as of right now, it's pretty much a blue ocean, right? Not a lot of business owners know about this program. So it's an open market, right?
Mhm.
Again, more brokers, as time progresses, more people are going to know about it, more people are going to be offering the service. So I just think it's a great time just to get out there and offer the service and try to get as many business owners the credit that they qualify for.
Okay. Yeah, and I would agree with you. Not everyone knows about it, not the majority probably. And they I heard about it. I think I mentioned to you starting earlier this year. I think it was like
Right.
March and hearing a little bit, brokers here and there talk about it. Tell me a little bit more about how you can partner with brokers. I know you touched on it, but is there anything else that a broker would need to know if they were to partner with you?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, what obviously reach out to me, have a conversation. I'll go over the program. Uh, if they are interested, I will introduce them to the company. I do make 5% commission for anyone I refer.
Hmm.
So obviously, if I need to spend a little time with a broker and just explain a few things to get them going, I will.
Hmm.
Again, the 5% is not affecting the 20% that the broker is making. So, but yeah, I mean, I would love to get someone going, and once they get going, obviously, whatever they're funding and whatever money they're making, I'm making a small percentage of that. So another
Okay.
source of revenue, right?
Sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, look, I think if it gets them going, it's helping everyone. You're helping someone, you get something in return. That's only fair and business, right? So,
Right,
all right,
right.
so we can switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
What other trends are you seeing right now? I mean, we're about to see another rate hike. That doesn't directly affect a lot of the products that you may offer, but it does affect some. What else are you seeing in the market that you're like, okay, this might affect my business. I might need to make a change, or business owners
Right.
need to change.
As of right now, I I've been receiving more declines. Now, again, it could just happen to be me. I'm getting some borderline files, right? But again, due to what's happening on a macro level, I don't know if funders and lenders are tightening up a bit, right?
Hmm.
So
Makes sense.
that's what I have noticed, and again, recently. But again, it could just be that I got some files that were borderline, right? So,
Sure.
but yeah, if anything, that's what I have noticed.
Okay. And so, lastly, a little fun question that I'll put out there for you. What's a deal that's either crazy or wild or just memorable? It could be good that you've had either over your career or even just or recently.
Okay, it's been quite a while. My second son is 4 years old now. So when we were in the hospital, my significant other, going into labor and all of this, I was contacted by a merchant who needed a substantial amount of money. And at this point, I'm in the hospital. I don't have my laptop. I have, it's all about the family at that point, right?
Hmm.
But basically, you know, I was able to close that deal fairly quickly on my phone from the hospital, and earned a really nice commission. So
Nice.
that's memorable, you know,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
able to do that, you know, from the hospital. And again, I'm not spending a bunch of time because,
Sure.
you know, the most important thing to me is family, right? So I'm focused on that. But if this person is emailing me the bank statements, I'm just forwarding, requesting stuff real quick, you know.
Yeah,
And so that's why that was memorable. Again,
that's
it was a
great.
substantial amount, and you know, it's just great if you can just make money right from your phone, right? That
Well,
feeling is
that's
amazing.
yes, yes. We've come a long way. That's a great
Right,
story. I mean, it's
right. So
memorable.
that's memorable for me.
That's I appreciate you sharing that. That's great.
Oh, no problem.
The significant other might, if it was like right at labor time, that would have been a little bit too much. But
Right,
you're in
right,
the
right.
waiting room, you got some time,
Right,
Good stuff. All right. Well, look, Michael, I appreciate you, taking some time today. And I think this is helpful for a lot of people out there. And I'll drop all your contact information below the video.
great.
So they'll know how to contact you, phone number, email, website, all that good stuff. And, we'll touch base down the line.
Sounds good, Shane.
All right, Michael,
Sounds
I
good.
appreciate it. We'll talk
All
soon.
right. Take
Okay.
care.
Thanks.